As autumn arrives and the leaves begin to turn, it's time to look ahead at what winter 2025 to 2026 has in store for the United States. This year, the seasonal outlook is more important than ever, as shifting global patterns set the stage for a winter full of surprises. This season promises high drama and volatility, far from your average winter. Weather experts are already sounding the alarm for a season that could keep everyone on their toes. Expect everything from intense Arctic blasts and powerful snowstorms to the risk of severe weather outbreaks. These events could disrupt travel, impact daily routines, and challenge even the most prepared communities. The main driver? A major transition in the Pacific Ocean. El Niño is fading, and we're entering a neutral ENSO state, leaning slightly toward La Niña. This shift in ocean temperatures can have far-reaching effects on weather patterns across North America. This in-between phase opens the door for unpredictable weather, making long-range forecasting a real challenge. Meteorologists are watching closely, as this uncertainty means anything is possible. For you at home, that means expect the unexpected. From sudden snow squalls to unseasonably warm spells, flexibility will be key. Temperature swings could be dramatic, sometimes changing week to week. One region may experience a deep freeze while another enjoys a brief thaw, all within days. One day it's mild, the next, a bitter cold front sweeps in. These rapid changes can catch people off guard, so staying updated is crucial. We're watching for major nor'easters along the East Coast and significant lake-effect snow near the Great Lakes. These storms can bring heavy snow, strong winds, and hazardous conditions. The big picture, this winter will be anything but boring, with extremes across the country. From coast to coast, no region is immune to surprises. Some regions will shiver through a colder-than-average season, facing prolonged cold snaps and icy conditions, while others will see relative warmth or dryness, with less snow than usual and milder temperatures that could linger well into the season. Our job is to track these patterns and keep you informed so you can stay safe and prepared for whatever this wild winter brings. Stay tuned for updates, and remember, this season, vigilance and preparation will be your best allies. To understand this winter's unusual forecast, we need to look at the Pacific Ocean, a vast expanse that acts as the engine room for much of the world's weather. What happens here doesn't just stay here, it ripples out, shaping climate patterns across continents. At the heart of this influence is the El Niño Southern Oscillation, or ENSO. ENSO has three phases: El Niño, when waters are warmer than usual; La Niña, when they're cooler; and neutral, when temperatures hover near average. Each phase sets off a chain reaction altering wind patterns, rainfall, and even the strength of storms. This year, we're transitioning from El Niño to a neutral phase, but with a noticeable lean toward La Niña, meaning slightly cooler ocean temps are starting to take hold. This subtle shift may seem minor, but it can have outsized effects on the atmosphere above. In strong El Niño or La Niña years, weather patterns are more predictable, with clear signals that forecasters can follow. These years often bring either persistent warmth and rain, or extended cold and dryness depending on the phase. But in a neutral year, those signals weaken. Other climate factors like random atmospheric waves or even distant volcanic eruptions can play a bigger role, making the weather more volatile and harder to pin down. The biggest impact is on the jet stream, which becomes more variable and buckled, swinging wildly and pulling Arctic air deep into the country one week, then retreating the next. This waviness can lead to rapid changes in temperature and precipitation. This tug-of-war sets the stage for dramatic temperature swings and an active, stormy season, with the potential for both unseasonable warmth and sudden cold snaps. The 2025 hurricane season was somewhat suppressed, consistent with neutral or weak La Niña conditions, another clue for a wavy, powerful jet stream this winter. Fewer hurricanes often mean more energy is available for winter storms to develop. That active jet stream will deliver cold fuel major winter storms and create the perfect setup for blizzards and icy conditions in many regions. It can even spark severe weather outbreaks as it clashes with Gulf moisture, leading to intense thunderstorms, hail, and the risk of tornadoes in some areas. Bottom line, a neutral ENSO means a wild, unpredictable winter ahead where rapid shifts and surprises are more likely than ever before. To forecast a complex season, we look to the past. By examining previous winters, we can uncover patterns and clues that help us anticipate what lies ahead. The closest comparison for this winter is 2013 to 2014, the year polar vortex became a household term, dominating headlines and conversations across the country. That winter also featured a neutral ENSO state, just like now. Without the influence of El Niño or La Niña, the atmosphere was primed for unpredictable and dramatic shifts. The result? Repeated severe Arctic outbreaks as the polar vortex weakened, sending brutally cold air deep into the US for weeks at a time, disrupting daily life and straining infrastructure. The Midwest and Northeast endured record-shattering cold, with cities like Chicago and Minneapolis facing their coldest temperatures in decades. Schools closed, businesses struggled, and residents faced dangerous wind chills. We're seeing signs a similar pattern could set up this year, with the polar vortex potentially sending frigid air south again. Early model runs are hinting at a winter that could rival the intensity of 2013 to 2014. That winter also brought major snowstorms, especially along the East Coast, causing travel chaos and power outages. Roads became impassable and emergency crews worked around the clock. This year, however, models suggest the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Northeast could see above-average precipitation, meaning more moisture for heavy snow. The stage is set for frequent, intense storms. The combination of frequent cold blasts and ample moisture could make this winter even more impactful than 2013 to 2014, with the potential for widespread blizzards and significant snow accumulation. It's a recipe for a classic old-fashioned winter in many regions, evoking memories of winters past and bringing communities together to face the challenges. Prepare for a season that could rival some of the most memorable winters in recent history. As we brace for what's ahead, staying informed and ready will be more important than ever. Let's get specific. A sharp temperature divide is expected, with the central and eastern U.S. bracing for a colder-than-average winter. The heart of the cold will be over the northern plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley, directly in the path of Arctic blasts from Canada. States like North and South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Iowa could see frequent, strong cold fronts and consistently below-average temperatures. The Great Lakes region will also be hit, with frigid air and open lake waters fueling significant lake-effect snow. This colder pattern extends into the Northeast, especially inland New England and the interior Mid-Atlantic. Persistent cold means more snow, not rain, for cities like Pittsburgh, Syracuse, and Albany. The key takeaway: prepare for a sustained, old-school cold winter, not just a few cold snaps. Winterize your home and gear up. This season could be a throwback to the tough winters of decades past. On the flip side, much of the West Coast, from California to Washington, will see a warmer-than-average winter. A ridge of high pressure over the eastern Pacific will block Arctic air, letting milder Pacific air dominate. The warmth extends across the desert Southwest, southern plains, and much of Texas, bringing mild conditions to cities like Phoenix, Dallas, and Houston. Florida is also in the warm zone, with above-normal temperatures thanks to a subtropical jet stream. While brief cold snaps are possible, they'll be less frequent and less intense. The Mid-Atlantic is a transition zone, leaning warm, but still at risk for impactful winter weather. Overall, the West Coast, South, and Florida will enjoy a milder winter in stark contrast to the deep freeze elsewhere. But remember, warmer than average doesn't mean no cold at all, just fewer harsh spells. Precipitation will be as divided as temperatures this winter. The Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Northeast are in the bullseye for above-average rain and snow, right where the coldest air will be. The active jet stream will repeatedly pull Gulf moisture north, fueling frequent winter storms. Expect multiple systems bringing heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain from Missouri to Maine. Nor'easters could bring blockbuster snowfalls to the East Coast if storm tracks and temperatures align. Meanwhile, the Gulf Coast and West Coast will be drier than normal, with fewer storms and rainfall events. This could raise drought concerns for the Gulf and water worries for California. The Rockies will still see solid snow, but coastal regions will be below average. The contrast between a wet, snowy Midwest and dry coasts will define this winter. Some regions will become battle zones where cold and warm air clash, creating messy, high-impact weather. The main battle zone, the Ohio and Tennessee valleys, caught between Arctic air to the north and moist Gulf air to the south. Here, expect a volatile mix: rain, freezing rain, sleet, and heavy snow, sometimes all in one storm. The biggest threat: significant ice storms, which can cause power outages and dangerous travel. This region is also at risk for a second severe weather season, with the jet stream fueling severe thunderstorms and tornadoes, especially in the lower Mississippi Valley. Tornadoes aren't just a spring threat. Late autumn and early winter outbreaks are possible this year. Residents should have a winter weather safety plan, including tornado precautions. Stay alert for rapidly changing conditions and have multiple ways to receive warnings. This severe weather risk is a key reason this winter could be especially dangerous and unique. When will the first snowflakes fall? It varies, but here's what to expect this year. The Rockies' highest elevations see snow as early as September or October. Great news for ski resorts. The northern plains and upper Michigan usually get their first snow by late October or early November, possibly right on schedule or a bit early this year. By November, winter storms expand into the Midwest, Great Lakes, and interior Northeast. Time to prep your snow gear. December and January are peak months for major storms, with blockbuster snow possible in the Northeast and even snow reaching Oklahoma, North Texas, and parts of the Deep South. Coastal mid-Atlantic cities like DC and Philadelphia could see significant snow if a nor'easter times perfectly with a cold outbreak. We'll be watching every system closely to keep you updated as winter unfolds. With a volatile winter ahead, preparation is key. Start by assembling emergency kits for your home and car. Include food, water, flashlights, batteries, first aid supplies, and necessary medications. For your vehicle, add blankets, warm clothing, a shovel, ice scraper, sand or cat litter, and jumper cables. Service your car before winter. Check the battery, antifreeze, and tires, and consider winter tires if you're in a snowy area. Prepare your home. Service your heating system, seal drafts, insulate pipes, and clean gutters to prevent ice dams. Power outages are possible, so be ready to go without electricity for a few days. Always check the forecast before traveling and postpone trips if conditions are hazardous. Stay informed with weather alerts, use a NOAA weather radio and reliable apps. Pay attention to local news and follow emergency officials' advice. Take these steps now, and you'll be ready to face whatever this wild winter brings. Stay safe and stay warm. And